We are back.
We're back, we're back.
Yes,
How you doing? How you doing? It's your boy D Rich,
I'm Deanne.
and we're here, and this is Negus with Opinions. To,
That's right.
this week we have a special guest with us,
Yes, we do.
Miss Beautiful Ebony. How you doing today?
I'm good. Thank
Good,
you.
good.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
for sure.
We brought you on today because we had a discussion in the past about different relationships between, black man and black woman, and different ways that we've progressed and ways that we have to continue to proceed and to become better. So, wanted to bring you on the show to see if we can get your opinions on certain topics that we had some disagreements about. We have this chat called the Coalition of Colored People. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That's what it's called, right?
Yeah.
TCC chat. Yeah.
Oh,
Coalition.
Coalition. The Color Coalition.
The Color Coalition, that's what it is. There you go. So, we have, constant debates in there and everything. So, you chose not to do that anymore, partake in it,
I just be taking my little breaks. I be scrolling,
I hear
but
you.
you know, I be busy as shit.
I feel you. Okay, well, we wanted to get into some of those topics that we actually discuss on there. So,
yeah, please fill me in, brother. I have
oh
no
yeah,
idea.
no, I got you.
Yeah.
But
We
before
can
we,
get a personal invite.
before we get, I got you. I do
Okay.
got you on
Thank
that.
you, sir.
Before we get there though, wanted to, have you introduce yourself, tell
Yes.
us a little bit about your show, what it's about, and everything from there. So,
Okay. How much about myself? 'Cause,
whatever you feel like giving us.
no, my name is Ebony, originally from Mississippi. I've been in Arizona for 9 years now. Um,
What part of
I-
Mississippi, by the way? Somebody may want to know.
I was born in
That's very
Jackson.
true. Okay.
Jackson. Okay.
Grew up in a small town called Phoebe, Mississippi.
Okay.
Graduated high school from West Point High School, and then I went to the Jackson State University.
Oh, okay. All right.
Amazing HBCU.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Mississippi.
That's good.
So in the Valley, I do have a podcast as well called Venus Clapback that I co-host with Coco, and my name is Muse on that particular show. And we've done some really, really dope things in the Valley. The show is basically about all things Black women,
Okay.
Black women identifying, femme, queer, whatever. We don't really care.
Okay.
Yeah, and so from there we've done like 2 productions of When I Fell in Love with Black Women, and it was great. The first one was at Temple Center for the Arts, and the other one was at South Mountain Community College.
Okay.
So some really dope things on the horizon for 2020 with that. We're really excited about that. And the way the podcast came about is because we were 2 Black women living in Phoenix, Arizona, and there are lots of ways to feel invisible here.
That's very true. Yes. it
And
is.
so we just decided to give voice to that. Like, what does that feel like? And not only for Black women, but to also kind of give the Black men some tips and tricks on that shit. Like, you love who you love or whatever, but the Black woman is supreme.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Oh yeah.
At the
Okay.
end of the day, in my personal opinion.
Touching on them
Yes.
subjects we hit
Oh,
on.
yes.
That makes
I'm
makes
very
couples,
intrigued.
yes.
Right now, yes, girl, you're giving me an orgasm.
Continue.
Continue, please.
Yeah, and then I'm an entrepreneur. I have a business. I have a pay and sip business. It's been about 3 years going strong with
Okay.
that.
When's your next program? Oh,
Well, we have classes every week.
Okay.
And then we do Lolos every first Tuesday of the month.
okay.
And
It's all
I host
good.
HBCU alumni events,
Okay.
and we have about 3 to 4 events a year.
Okay.
We get the HBCU alums in the Valley together.
I'm not gonna lie, I always hated on HBCU kids a little
That's
bit.
probably because you didn't go.
It is.
That's how it goes.
It's only, but
Wow.
they better than us, man.
We
You know
don't
what
think.
I'm saying?
We don't think.
Hey, shout out to them PWI kids. You know what I'm saying? We had
We
to
don't
hold it
think-
down. Oh, here we go. You see what I'm
No.
talking about?
No, it's an education.
No, I hear
It's an
you.
education,
If I get my masters, when I get my masters, I'm going to HBC.
There you go.
That's
I recommend anybody who has children to at least let your kids go for a semester,
Okay.
or at least a year, and then let your child make a decision after that. But
Okay. So you're saying that all black homes we should put more? Yeah, I feel you. I feel you on that.
Absolutely.
I feel you on
Absolutely. That same energy that you put into protesting on the PWI campus
Yeah, when we did that, I did that. We did
can be
a
done.
nice little sit-in.
It can be done at a HBCU to raise the same issues. Whatever you're protesting for or making noise about, you can do that at HBCU campus and make it better in the same manner.
Respect.
That's
Okay.
just how I feel about it.
Okay, I hear you. I hear you. Respect, respect. Okay, okay. Well, well, to dive in a little bit into our topic for today. The title is going to be toxic masculinity versus toxic feminism. Now, a lot of people may be wondering, what at least the second part is toxic feminism. That because usually you don't hear that. You hear the toxic masculinity a little bit more.
Right.
Toxic feminism to me, I feel is is the overuse of some of these qualities that you mentioned, as far as like what you would see on, and honestly it's mainly white women, but you would see the classic feminists that would get mad and about a guy wanting to say hello to a woman, and now they use the triggered meme and the gif and everything. So I would say that toxic feminism is
Is that feminism though?
is it?
Is
What?
it?
Well, I was going to ask.
The men's are the only ones that have that complaint about
of what?
the way that a woman wants to be approached or talked to.
Hmm.
That has nothing to do with feminism at all.
But do you think it's usually you hear that the most from like feminists?
Women, sure. Feminists, probably not.
You don't think so?
Probably
Okay,
not.
okay. So so what is a feminist in the correct sense?
Here,
Do you feel?
let's go to the homeboy Google.
The homeboy Google?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought it was another app. I was about
Right.
to say. I was like, yo, you
Yeah.
gotta put me on.
Right.
I was like, well, we got a black Google, and we
Right.
need to do that. Somebody need to go out there. One of
Brother,
them,
you.
I'm not. That's
Somebody
not
you
my
do it.
lane. That's
What
not
do
my
you mean?
lane. Somebody out there doing tech.
Aw,
You know what
man.
I'm saying?
Okay,
Somebody
well,
out there
I'll
doing
have
computer
Tyler do it.
science. Yeah.
Tyler look like he can do it. Yeah.
So basically, just to talk about the feminist movement, and I'm totally just Googling whatever. It refers to a series of political campaigns for reforms on issues such as reproductive rights, domestic violence, maternity leave, equal pay, women's suffrage, sexual harassment, and sexual violence. And it goes on, but I'm not gonna keep going on there. So none of that has to do with catcalling.
No, it doesn't. No.
So are we just talking about women? Or are we talking about feminists?
We were talking
I
about
think,
feminists.
yeah, but the example that you gave was not a
Was not a
feminist
good.
example.
I felt like that was a film. Like we see them. Like you never seen the whole like on YouTube feminists gone wrong. Like you never seen that. I'm gonna put you on. We gonna see it. We gonna watch that. But it's basically a whole bunch of women bugging out on men on simple things that or even the whole let me see what else. Just the like the way that they, like you said, the way that they were being approached, and it could be as simple as a hello, and they were like, "Why do you feel like you can say hello to me?" or like anything like that. Usually those were things that was coming up with the feminists, but you had some examples as far as with Amber Rose with the slut walk in.
I thought a feminist was a woman who was empowered. She doesn't really, listen to the standards of society, like when it comes to sexuality, how, she should carry herself, about, cursing, she breaks all the rules. She's independent. She's somebody that doesn't really have a label. She's just free to be who she is. And Amber Rose, I've seen a few of her slut walks, and she encourages women, like, just because I dress a certain way or I have sex with a man, it doesn't make me less of a hoe than if a man has sex with 20 women and there's no repercussion for it. But a woman, that walk of shame, that like she made a commercial like the day after, where she had sex with a guy, and she was tiptoeing to her car, she had her shoes off, and that whole walk of shame, that slut walk. So Black China, these are women that are on a platform that is saying, just because I've slept with a few men doesn't make me a hoe. It's my right as a woman how I choose to dress, who I choose to sleep with, and a woman shouldn't be shamed for that, because men do it all the time, and you guys get props.
For which part?
Having sex with many women. It's in the rap music. Like, you guys are labeled as players, you're labeled as everything, but what women are, we're called whores, sluts, you know, vagina is trash and all these things. You know, like it's a yeah, we're limited to
Did we
that.
ever talk about that? Did we? It was
I don't
something
think so.
about. No, there was a thing. There was a chat. It was about whether or not vagina is really trash or not, and you know, it was a whole. It was an IG thing. Don't mind me for
Oh
going
no
into
no
detail.
no! I mean, like I was telling him, you know, I tried to do a little research, and Alice Walker had a great quote that you may know. She said, "A womanist is to a feminist what lavender is to purple."
Mhm.
So she coined the womanist term, right? Because I know
Absolutely.
she wrote a play about that, and I love Alice Walker because she made the color purple. And if you ever read
Mhm.
that book
Alice
touches on
Walker wrote that. Very
a
good.
lot of things like molestation and sexuality. Ooh, even even like in the book, if you saw the movie, you know, Suge Avery was she messed with Mister and she was messing with Celie. So it's like they left some of that out the movie, but that book exposed me to a lot of things. Like
Mhm.
you know, Daddy Sleep. Ooh, Lord, that book is something deep.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. I mean, I really don't know. These are
Honest,
just people who label themselves as that, but do they
Mhm.
carry themselves? Do they represent for
Right.
the community?
They represent for women in general, yes.
Okay.
Because sexual empowerment is important for Black women specifically. Um, and with the womanist coined by Alice Walker, the reason why she did that was to make sure that the Black woman was included in the feminist movement. Because I mean, it wasn't for us, just like
right.
lots of other things that
Yeah.
they just needed numbers for, and so then they
Yeah.
opened it up. But the womanist term is to center Black women in those reproductive rights, in sexual harassment, in all of that. Oops, sorry.
Okay. No, you're good.
Um, in all of that. So, and that's kind of where I prefer to fall under.
Okay.
Women's rights, sure. Black women, priority. That's kind of
Okay.
where I'm at with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just want to touch on what you said. You're a black man, but
Mhm.
what when you were saying that black women don't get love out here, are you talking about our own race, black men? Because I told him, living in Arizona, black men they don't date black women. They'll date everything else but a black woman,
Some.
or well, some. Let me
Yeah.
rephrase that. Some black men, or they'll date a woman who is not black, but she has the features of a black woman. You know,
Mhm.
she'll get Botox, she'll get her ass done, she might tan.
Right.
You know, she'll have the appearance of a black woman, but she's not. Is that what you mean by you living out here? It's like
It's all
difference.
encompassing.
Okay.
When I moved out here, I was the only Black woman anywhere I decided to work.
Okay.
And so a lot of Black women have to create spaces for themselves to feel safe and secure from, whatever.
Okay.
The dating aspect of it, I hate that we have to center ourselves as it relates to interracial dating, as if that gives us any more value or purpose or worth. But is it a real thing? Hell yeah, it's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
But you can feel invisible at work. You can
Yeah.
be silenced at work.
Yeah,
You
that's
can
true.
be silenced when you go into the grocery store. You can be
Yeah.
silenced, when you're dealing with the police. So it's just to, as far as the podcast that we have, is just to make sure that we highlight the Black woman, period, and
Okay.
not from the gaze of Black men or do this so that you can get chosen. No, fuck all that noise. Like, do this shit so you can be happy in the fucking morning. It hasn't outside of men, outside of trying to date or anything like that. Like that's nah.
So I got a
Okay.
question. Do you feel as though that women, sometimes base their happiness around relationships?
Sure.
And you think that's an issue?
I think it's an absolute issue.
Okay.
I am always inquiring of women who are marriage minded.
Mhm.
Who are you before you get married, though? Because when you get married, then you're a wife, and if you decide to have a family, then you're a mother. And then at the end of the day, some years down the line, you're sitting around looking like, well, who am I? I don't even know what I like to do anymore if it's not surrounded by play dates, pick up from school, cooking meals, washing laundry.
But
Like,
can
who
that
are
be this?
you as a
So
woman
it's
at the end of the day?
I was gonna
So
say
that's
though, but
the
can that
gender
hold on?
roles?
I was gonna say, can that be defined on both ends though, as far as like
Mhm.
when you get into a relationship? Because even a man can get into a routine to where now I'm just working, I'm taking the kids to practice, I'm coming home. What's the name? I get to see. We talk for like 2 minutes. Usually it's about the kids.
Sure.
We not, we get into this kind of like cycle and everything. So can that be both played?
Yeah,
Go both
absolutely.
ways? Okay.
It depends on how that particular relationship is set up, of course.
Okay.
But if we're talking about majority of the times, it's gonna fall on the woman to do that.
Hey, okay, okay. So I got a question. What? Hold on, just I'm sorry.
Oh, no, no,
What
go
you
ahead.
about
No,
to say?
no, go ahead,
Okay.
brother. Yeah, you
No, I
were
was
gonna
gonna
say
say
what I was gonna say.
just because was you?
Mhm.
Oh, probably. Go ahead, speak
I
it.
was just about
Yeah.
to talk about just the most I guess timely thing of what's happening in our news with Aisha Curry,
Mhm.
of what what they saw was what a lot of Black America see as like the kind of marriage that a lot of us want.
Right.
She stay out the way. You know what I'm saying? He's a winner. He's got money. This man, from our eyes, obviously we on outside looking in, but we don't know their lives inside and out. But he seems to be loyal, take care of his family, cutest kids in the world, all that other good stuff. So but what she said on the on Jada's round table was that she wanted attention from other men. Now, granted, I did understand what she was saying, but at the end of the day, it's like what like in my DMX, what these chicks want from a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because it kind of comes back to a man and like man like what else I gotta do? You know what I'm saying? Especially for us regular brothers out here. Like it's like damn, like I thought she got everything we wanted.
The comments
You know?
are crazy.
Yo,
I wish you can read these. These comments are going crazy.
I wish you know what I'm saying. Like I wish I did as much as I can. Like what else you want from a brother? So could you maybe give a share of what you think about that?
It's for me. It's layered. In understanding what I do about the Currys, how they got started. They got married young.
Mm-hmm.
And she's 30, right? Got 3 kids.
Yeah.
Oof.
And again,
Yeah.
back to the conversation we just had. If Steph is off playing games,
Mm-hmm.
who is taking care of the household?
Yeah.
Who's holding down everything else?
Shit.
So
I see what you're saying.
I'm twofold. Like I understand where she was coming from. I
Yeah.
don't necessarily have empathy for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because to me the way she said it, the way she phrased it in the context of the conversation was kind of like, I want the same kind of attention my husband is getting.
That's
Why
what
can't
I
I
said.
have that? And
That's
it's
what
like
I said.
I'm not convinced that no one has said anything flirtatious to
Facts.
Aisha Curry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not convinced of that. Now, has she been just like her? Not her. Like Steph's mother said, like they do. You just not looking. You're not paying any attention. So whether she's not checking her DMs, she's just thinking that somebody's holding the door a little bit longer than usual. Like whatever,
Mm-hmm.
But that's also a downfall to not living a little bit of life before you get married.
Facts.
I mean, well, I made memes about this. I was, in joking of what she said. And, she was like, I don't necessarily want the attention. She wants to feel like she's desirable because, y'all remember that girl that was at the game? She had her hand in her mouth, her finger.
Yeah, we all saw
and Curry. So what she's saying is, you got all these good-looking women, right, throwing themselves at her or at him, and we already know about the who's the basketball player that told Carmelo Anthony that Lala tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios.
That was KG.
Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like
Lala
just like
Honey
your
Nut
girl,
Cheerios.
right?
Because it's
Honey
like,
Nut Cheerios, right? There was a meme about that, but I understand what she was saying as far as feeling like she is like, hey, I haven't lost it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 30. I got 3 kids. I think she's beautiful, but someone made a comparison to how she dressed. She dresses like. She doesn't,
Well, that was something that my homegirl actually came out and said, like, you need to pick a struggle, because last year, you was talking about, females dressing, or women dressing a way that, is more modest and everything, and was attacking,
and
that
does.
whole front, and then which is fine, which is
Yeah.
absolutely fine, but then you came back and you jumped on the other end of, wanting to be more desirable, so. It's kind of like, she said, pick a struggle there.
To push the conversation forward, and we had an episode about the Black church and Black women, because they are Christian.
Okay. Yes.
And the Black church don't really set Black women up for success, in my opinion. And so for her, and I'm totally just giving my opinion. I don't know Aisha from somebody randomly walking out on the street. However, as a reformed church girl, you are raised and indoctrinated that modesty is key, and this is how you need to dress, and this is how you need to act, and this is what you need to say in order to get and keep your husband and all this other stuff. And so I feel like right now, Aisha is in this position of recognizing, like, damn, worldly women have the same access as I do, and I've been doing every goddamn thing right. So why am I not getting the same kind of attention that my husband
she's probably. I mean, like when I think about it, yeah. What I was thinking is when she goes to these games, you know how they have that box with the wives.
Yeah.
In comparison to how she dresses and how she looks nothing like them. They probably had plastic surgery, had some enhancements. She probably feels out of place because she can't identify. You know, there's a few basketball wives that would say that you go to the box and you would see the mistress or the girlfriend or whatever, you know. So maybe that's what she's talking about. I mean, she might just want that, you know, someone to kind of not praise her, but just say like, man, your wife is gorgeous, like, wow, you know what I mean, just that recognition. Because maybe he's not, we don't know if he's telling her. I mean, he did come out and he defended her about her being brave, you know.
Yeah, but
I mean, he may not. Like, it may be to a point of where, like, they've been together for so long.
You know, you get complacent.
In his mind, he probably thinks like, oh, she knows how I feel.
Right, you know.
Versus like actually saying
and when
it out
we go through that, you know, like you're in a relationship with a woman and you quit buying her flowers, you stop complimenting her, you don't notice her new lip color or she's lost weight. I mean, it's like you get kind of like used to it, attached. It's like, oh, it becomes normal. You know, when you're first dating someone, you're courting someone, the compliments, the flowers, the romance, and you get into a relationship, and it's like now you guys are settling. You know, things you used to do, you're not doing. And that goes to both ends.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what's going on. I don't know.
It's possible, but you did touch on something that that I think that is an issue with a lot of, I would say, our women, and you know, and they're caught between, you know, that living by the book. To where you know, I had a conversation that where we come from. I know you know what I'm saying, you reformed and all of that and whatnot, you know, moved on. I told you why I'm kind of reformed as well, but you know, on a different front. We talked about that, but you know, to where you know my basic beliefs is still that's what we stand on, and you know, as far as we're moving further and further away from that, like you said, she's caught in between living by the book and the worldly way. So, I mean, based on the worldly way, though, we wouldn't have too many more relationships. So, I mean, do you think as far as, I mean, be real, because, I mean, if you're looking at it, like you said, I can sleep with as many men as I want. Brothers ain't going for that as far as, like, or that's not,
yes, they are. Has Amber Rose
you know what's
lost,
bad?
Has Amber Rose lost the
there's some there. But I mean,
has Amber Rose not been married?
But they last. But they last.
It don't matter.
So what's the
Christian
goal?
women get divorced too.
That's facts.
It don't matter. It don't matter. Ladies, hit that if you feel like hitting that. Squat on that.
Wow.
Sit on that.
That's wild.
Get yours.
I
am pro orgasm too. Sorry.
I'm pro orgasm as well.
But dudes be out here trying to sell a repressed form of sexuality for black women. Like, no, keep it together. Don't do all that. Like, the pussy don't get loose. It's still there.
Yeah,
she's still good.
Who don't want the good cat? Like, what you talking about? Like, hold on. What you mean? Like, hold on. Like, I'm definitely pushing for the orgasm. Definitely, so I don't know what you like. Get that? What? I'm just saying, no, get that. But no, but at the end of the day, you don't need to be throwing the cat around either. Like,
she can.
I don't know why. You shouldn't.
And brothers should. It's not a matter of
at the end of the day,
but that's the double standard,
and that's the double standard though.
Yeah,
but at the end of the day, I mean,
let's dig into that. I would love to understand why should she not throw her vagina around as she's so.
I mean, well, if we gonna say that, I mean, like even as men, we shouldn't be doing that. You know what I mean? But I am a double standard kind of brother. What's the name? Like I do kind of live on, you know, transparency. You know what I mean? I was told, you know, that there was a story, right? It's the story of the master key and the lock, right? So, you know, a master key is a master key because it can open many locks. But a lock that can be opened by any key is useless.
Is she open?
But I'm just saying, if any key can get up in there, like, is it special? Is that a special? And just on the basis of the analogy, I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. On the basis of the anatomy, that don't even make sense.
I'm just saying that you receive. I'm just saying that I don't feel like promiscuity. I think we should slow down on that. Regardless, that's across on both sides because I don't think it's doing us any benefit. You know, like you said, because it's farther. The more and more that we, you know, we push that, you know, sex and just, you know, or even in lyrics. We was just talking about this last week about how everything is about it, fucking somebody's girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these hoes ain't loyal. You know what I'm saying? Everything is about that. So, as we continue to push that forward, I mean, like, more and more folks ain't gonna be together. Granted, I have been seeing a little bit more as of late, just on my timeline. Just specifically, I just posted about it the other day. I was pretty proud. I saw a lot of proposals in the last month or so, so that's really good. But I mean, shout out to them as well. Y'all know who y'all is. Congratulations. And then, but as a whole, we not seeing a lot of that. So I mean, do you
Black
think
people
that
get married every day. Promiscuity is not a 2000
it's not.
new occurrence.
It's not.
It's an age old concept.
So do you think it doesn't have any bad effects, negative effects?
Irresponsibly, sure.
Irresponsibly. So
I don't
how do you
think any-
responsibly?
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't
How do you
think anyone should
responsibly
be
be?
in that, like, yeah.
How do you be responsibly promiscuous?
Like,
Responsibly promiscuous.
Mm-hmm.
what you saying?
Besides
Yeah,
that,
sure.
just
You
be
can
safe.
find them communication.
So do you believe in energy exchange,
Soul ties?
soul ties?
No,
You don't?
no,
Okay.
I don't.
I don't think, I mean, I'm all about sexual empowerment. I don't think women or men should be having sex with as many people. And the reason why is, the most embarrassing thing is someone to know your whole sexual history. Like, just the way that looks crazy. Like, you said Amber Rose. I think, even though Amber Rose is a beautiful woman, there's a lot of men who would not sleep with Amber Rose because they know who she slept with. Yeah, you wouldn't. Some of those guys, like Black China.
Yeah.
We had a conversation about Black China.
Turning that
Black
down.
China, she's and again, these are women who are famous. I mean, I have a past. If I was on a platform, y'all would probably know my track record. But there's some men who wouldn't mess with her. I think after a while, it comes to someone wants to be with someone that no one has been with. And so if you're dating someone and your homeboy's like, yeah, she does that one trick. Oh, what about the hand? Oh, like no one wants to be with someone to me that everyone knows what y'all do. Like, I don't promote that. I think some things you should keep to yourself, and you have every right to sleep with someone, but to be careless and just sleep with someone just because, I mean,
No, we're not talking about carelessly sleeping with people.
like it's my right.
If I see
have
somebody
a
on the street, I want to sleep. No, we're not
Well,
talking about irresponsible, immature, having to. No.
But you're
We're not talking about
saying,
that kind of sex.
but hold on. But are you saying though? You said if they got the right, you said to sit on it. What's the name if you want to?
Absolutely.
So if you see brother on the street walking by, damn, I want to hop on that. Yo, come here real quick. Let's
I
go.
don't think she means it like that. I think she means
you
like
on
there would be
some
no.
straight-
I'm just saying.
You're probably saying like there would be no,
No.
shame if you had a one night stand. You wouldn't walk
Absolutely.
away from there like, oh,
But you, and again, this is very surface conversation. But if you are emotionally in a space where you can handle, emotionally and mentally in a space where you can handle that kind of relationship, then by all means, just do your thing.
Yeah, I
But if you're not
nope.
emotionally capable, if you're not mentally capable to do that, then sit your ass down.
Yes,
That's
I fall
all
in
I'm
love
saying.
with strokes, so that's why I keep it.
That's
yeah.
all I'm saying. And if you
I
know that about
know that.
yourself,
Yeah,
then
I do.
don't continuously get yourself into
You're right.
those kinds of
and
things.
that's the sad part is like for some women, I'm one of them. You're having sex with a man. He's looking at it as sex. I'm putting emotion and love because when I love a man, I love him with my heart, mouth, and vagina. You know what I mean? No, seriously. Like it's a whole package. So if we're just having sex and you're looking at me as another girl that you can have sex with, I'm looking at it like we're together. Yeah.
But how do you get there? Because that's a huge ass miscommunication between the two.
Yeah, but there's a lot of mixed signals. You might, I've dated.
Ain't no mixed signals.
In my experiences, there are a lot of mixed signals. Because what I was telling him.
Mixed signal giver. So.
You know what I mean? Like a guy have you staying at his house, he'll call you, text you, you guys go out to dinner. You may have met his mom, you saw his dog, his best friend, and you just want to be friends.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at everything that we've been through. Like, really, you want to be friends? And I know who Fido is. Like, no.
But
why
are we
not Fido?
So
Fido knows who I am.
So women we have to do a much better job of making sure that whatever that position is somewhere that we want to be. I'm not meeting your mother if we haven't defined what this is. I don't give a damn about your dog. definitely not gonna be kicking and chilling, and you have all this access to me.
Yeah.
No.
Staying in not each other's
No,
houses.
we're
You
not,
might,
no.
you know, but some guys would do that and just want to be friends.
And
and
it's
you
easy.
said that.
It's easy to
You don't
blame
cuddle?
men, but we're
Yeah.
accountable for our actions.
Throw me under the bus
Like,
like that.
No, no,
There-
no,
there is no-
Like,
you said
Lord.
you're mixed signal. No, I'm just
Yeah,
saying you're
yeah,
a
there-
guy.
There is no one-way street to relationships. Like both
Okay.
of you are on
No,
this
you
shit.
good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so if y'all dating and he like, oh, I'm taking him to mom, and you sit down and talk to his mom, like, oh yeah, I met Tatiana last week and Michelle the week before, and he brought Rachel to Christmas. Like, no, like it's an easy conversation to have. And after so long where you feel like you need to understand what the hell is up between the two, then the conversation needs to be had before we start enmeshing into each other's lives. Like, it's easy to blame dudes because they send out mixed signals, but you out there chasing the carrot voluntarily. And then, ooh, we're just friends. No, he been telling you the whole time you was friends.
Yeah, you say that, but it's not, for me, it's not that simple, because I go by not words, but actions. So your words
need
can
both.
say one thing,
You need both.
but your actions are saying, or
You
how about
affirm
this?
it.
You need
Yeah,
both.
I mean, if you, okay, this is my thing. If you're wanting to be friends with someone, there is a friend category. Like I tell guys, we could be friends, we can hang out, we can't sleep around. You're not gonna stay that at my house. I'm putting you in that friend zone. You can call me and all that. But once you cross that line, then it's opening up a can of emotions that maybe I'm not ready for. So with guys, if you're telling a woman you want to be friends, you need to treat her like that. Having all this access, spending time with her, staying the night, like just how open. Like a man will say one thing, but he'll show you another. You can't get mixed signals
well,
like that.
I mean, like, do we put a time limit on this, or like how long this should be? Because I mean, I would agree that at a certain amount of time, a brother is just holding the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, we doing this and we sitting in the crib, and
Okay, he's doing a
it's
code
been like
name.
it's been like five years. You know what I'm saying? And we still in the same spot. Then I think you should like try and get to the
no
point.
5
Yeah,
years.
it shouldn't
There's
get that
folks that's
far.
out here doing it though.
If they out here doing it because both parties are allowing it to happen.
That's right.
Like, it's easy for women to just say, oh, he led me on. No, you was on that leash. Like, you hooked the leash up. Like, you was good because you felt good. He made you feel good. This some new shit.
Okay.
Your ex was trash, so he's showing you something new, something different. But it's the same shit in different clothes.
That's all
Like,
it really is.
we as women have a divine gift of intuition, and a lot of women you can ask who are divorced or out of relationships or whatever, they knew before shit popped off. Like, he not the one.
Yeah.
Majority of women know before they sleep with him. Like, he's not the one. But you go through it anyway.
I was just about to say, why is that? So why is that? Why do we sit while we
Because
wait? And it's uncomfortable to be
Waiting
alone.
for
I
what?
mean, like,
Waiting for what?
Lonely,
Someone to
just
change?
alone, just a body.
just a body. Yeah,
Waiting
it's
for
fine.
someone to change?
Yeah, or not. Or is that what we're doing?
Well, I
like
don't
you
know,
said,
like,
off
it
rip.
seems
Even
like,
she said off rip. Like, you know that they not it. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean,
we go through it anyway.
I'm going to speak for myself because I don't believe in, when you meet, like, I think you brought up a good subject, because I did see a clip that you were talking about. You don't date potential. You don't meet a man and you don't see, like, you know what, he could be this,
Hell
but
nah.
That's something
But
we
why?
talked about last week.
What-
Yeah.
What am I
Why?
what am I building on?
so you'll meet a guy, I don't know, you have a checklist. I don't know if, well, one, I don't know your sexual preference, if a man or woman, let's just say whoever you desire to be with.
Mhm.
If you meet someone and they're at a point in their life where maybe they're not everything that they can be, but with time and your help, you know what I mean? Like, I just think that, like, the way
What
that
are they doing on that path outside of me?
that's
Are
the
they
question.
running that track, or are they just sitting at home like, man, this would be dope, and then I come in doing this emotional toiling to get it done? No.
No, I think some people you meet, you can help them. Wherever they lack, you might have. That's
Sure,
a power
but
couple.
what are they doing already?
They could be working towards themselves to get better. You might just meet them, might be like a hand.
Are they
Have you
So-
seen Acrimony?
acrimony? Yeah.
Yeah, with Taraji. And then you seen Acrimony? It was the Tyler Perry. But
Wait, you gotta tell me.
it was
the
when
story.
Taraji kind of like bugged out. But basically, the timeline of the story is
Wait.
she was with
wait.
him.
Wait, we're not. Hold on. I'm thinking of Four Color Girls. Go
No,
ahead.
no, no.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's throwing
They
kids out the window. Okay.
she rocked out with him for a very long period of time.
Oh, he
Yeah.
became famous.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he got rich off his
that was
invention
it,
that
man.
finally
That's
hit.
a good movie. Yes, that movie was
So,
bugging.
With that being said,
Yeah.
so folks that don't know,
Her potential.
Taraji
Yeah.
like saw the potential. She rolled with him throughout his duration. She did all the work. you know, and then we talking like a cool 15 years. I
But
think
she
it was
invested a lot of
like
time
that.
in him, and
Yeah.
then when she left him, that's when
When she left him, his invention probably it finally hit, and he was with, you know, the woman who was there to pick up the pieces after Taraji. So, as far what do you think about that? Do you think that she was wrong? You know what I'm saying? Or you know, at the end of it, she felt like she deserved, you know, and she got paid, but she felt like she deserved everything now because she was along for the entire ride. You know,
I think she
investing in it.
Yeah, you can't do that. Like
we're not doing 15 years of
well, yeah, probably not
assistance.
that long.
So you would have gave up on him a long time ago?
Yeah, probably not that long.
No.
I agree because she lost her adult
They were
years.
fresh out of college.
Yeah.
So they're young, so they got time, right?
Mhm.
That's what you think, and then time
Yeah,
flies by.
facts.
Now, in this time, and this is the part about the dating potential that gets a bit weedy.
Right.
In that time, she's inherited a whole house. So you're not paying for that, but you're fucking up the electricity with this invention.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
You're not working any other job to contribute to these bills.
Yeah,
But I got to bust my ass, and she was working some regular ass low life job while he's sitting at home toiling over this. Now you can do that, Broham, but when we joined together in holy matrimony, then that meant that we were supposed to. She was already living a pretty good life because of inheritance or whatever.
Inheritance. Mm-hmm.
So she was doing well. But when you came in to join with her, then that means you're supposed to either meet her where she was already and escalate it, or make her life better off rip. But you get there and then we're not going backwards.
Yeah.
Just because I got a ring on my finger, that don't make sense.
So you don't believe in the power of the struggle, like when two people.
Hell no! I'm sorry.
Oh,
hell no!
What? Wait a minute.
So
Power of the
then
struggle.
What you're saying is that when you meet someone, they have to meet your criteria right then and there. There is no give me
I was about
time.
to say,
you
you're
know
not
what I mean?
riding?
Because
But that goes back to me asking, what is he doing outside of me now? So
he was working. Granted, he wasn't helping provide in the household, but
that goes
but
both
that
ways.
work,
Wait,
that work
with
was
men
is
too.
how they got that million.
Yeah,
how they got,
for
how they got,
15 years, you're gonna willingly let your wife just work?
I mean,
what, 2-3
yeah,
jobs?
I
what you
wouldn't.
gonna do?
Yeah,
They
I
paid
probably
off,
wouldn't. That's
though.
a long time. I wouldn't go that
They
long.
paid off.
Nah.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that long.
Well,
So I
that's
agree
why
with her
she
on
ain't
that.
getting no check.
Now,
Yeah.
to throw it back on Taraji, he did not want to leave her.
He did it.
He didn't. You're right.
She
And
wanted
he
to
came
go
back with a
ahead
check.
and
But that's,
So
that's where y'all
decision.
at. But that's where y'all
Right.
at right
That's
now.
a
She got
decision.
tired.
I wouldn't let
She
go of my
decided to-
lady.
Yeah, she got
Oh.
tired waiting. I think she
You
got
said that
tired.
y'all would've left. Y'all both leaving, right?
No, I don't know.
No.
I said I wouldn't wait.
Oh, you would've
15
rocked out?
years.
No.
I would not have
Yes,
waited that
after
long.
15 years, yes.
No, I
But
wouldn't
we're talking
give it
about
15
in the
years.
first
Skip that.
5 to 7
Oh,
years
so you would have left
post-marriage.
early. You would have left early.
Oh, hell
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So
Man,
you.
I wouldn't wait 15 years. Nah, Because
Well, see, both
realistically,
y'all
that's the
missing out.
movie.
Y'all missing
No,
y'all
I'm not
blessing,
missing my
right?
blessing. What I'm saying is, she got a point. Now, the setup of the story, again, it's a movie. They had a house. She's working, but in the real world, we can't do that. In the real world, there's
No.
bills. You got to support that dream somehow. So who's paying for those parts?
She was.
She was, right? I know
Mhm.
she was going through school.
She was going through.
Yeah,
they
so
put
she
they,
was doing, working all those
yeah.
long
And
hours.
to be real, at the end of it, he still cut her a check.
Yeah,
So
he
baby
did.
girl,
She
go
did
be
get
happy.
paid. She
Yeah,
did get
you're
paid.
right.
Go be happy.
Yeah, you're right, and he
She
didn't
was
have
crazy.
to. But I think what she was saying, if y'all remember, he promised her. Remember,
The
she
house,
was
the
saying something about the
apartment. Yeah.
high rise or whatever,
Mhm.
like that's gonna be you, and he was selling her a dream, and you
Mhm.
can believe, like for instance, selling dreams. I'm gonna marry you.
Yeah.
Right now, we going through
But
this. You're gonna be my
let's
wife.
tap into that.
Okay.
He was trash before they got married.
Was.
So when you know, you
Yeah,
know. And
but
like I
wasn't-
just
but
said,
wasn't-
they be knowing.
Wasn't he her first?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was her first.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it? I just
That's
don't
right.
think about the story. Like she liked him. That was her 1st
Mhm.
encounter with a man
And she ran that
sexually.
trailer over with her vehicle.
Yeah,
she
because he
did.
was in there with somebody
that's
else.
very true. I remember that.
So-
Yeah, that's
But he
very
didn't
true.
Like I
cheat. He didn't
said,
cheat.
yeah,
He didn't cheat the whole relationship though. I'm just saying he
didn't
was a
cheat.
good brother. No, he was a
Oh,
good
it was
brother.
like in the beginning.
Yeah, no, that
In
was
the
that was
marriage?
before the
Oh.
marriage. Yeah, in the
Yeah,
marriage
sure.
he did.
Yeah.
He ain't got
was
no
good.
money to take nobody out.
Oh, that's wild. That's wild. Brothers don't need no bread.
Oh,
I'll be real
man.
with you.
They
You
don't.
be-
Yeah.
yeah, I was about to say like you could be
Oh,
broke
man.
and get some man.
Dang, that potential.
But
But
yeah,
like I
but
said, but
yeah,
in the
you're not
beginning
with-
of the movie, it had already laid him out as a user. You still
Mhm.
marry him. That's a voluntary decision. I don't care how much time is invested. You're making a conscious decision to
Yeah.
stay.
Okay.
Because I think she loved him, and like I said, the potential. She believed that, hey, if I, support him,
Mm-hmm.
and do what a woman should do, supporting her man,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna happen. Now, realistically, you got men out here who want to be a rapper. You know, invest in a mixtape.
Nope.
You know what I mean? Sacrifice, or you got a man who wanna, do other things. But I believe, like when I meet a guy,
We got
real,
too many rappers out here. Just
yeah, I
so
mean,
y'all know.
I just know that's a popular job. I
I
mean,
know,
even I
hey.
see it on Facebook, but when you meet someone, like we were talking about the 80-20 rule, I didn't quite know what it meant, and how you were telling me about the whole Tyler Perry, and you know, are you ever going to meet someone like you said that's going to have a check mark of everything you're looking for? So to me, when I meet a guy, I do see potential in him because I know that he's not at his best. But the power of a couple is y'all can get better together if you guys are on one team. That's how I would look at it. Like what I lack, you're gonna make up for it, and vice versa. That's what power couples do. I'm sure when Jay-Z and Beyonce got together, there was things that they didn't have all in order. But after all these years, like you said, that's what a power couple does, is rock out together.
But what was what was Jay-Z already doing? Like, there's one
Jay
thing
was
to
already
see
that man.
potential, but then there's another thing to see a man actually working at his potential.
Yeah. No,
You know
no,
what
no,
I mean?
yeah.
Like, we not sitting at home, you 35, 40, mixing beats and you're not working.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
But you can already be a millionaire and have a potential to get bigger and better.
Yeah.
Sure, fine, great, but
Yeah.
I'm not a supporter of the struggle of, and that's why she snapped the fuck out at the end.
I thought she snapped because she saw this woman who didn't put in all that time.
And that's why
And
she was there for the
she-
struggle.
right,
That's why
right.
she snapped the fuck out at the
like,
end.
You know what I mean? Even though he cut her a check, so I mean, it sounded like she was kind of jealous. You know,
No.
like
Yeah,
you divorced
yeah.
him. She's seeing this good life. Cause remember she went to the penthouse and she had her dress on and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you told me that," and then she came out and it was the same girl that he had an interview with. So that's a very good example you brought up too. I totally forgot about that movie, but there's a few movies like that where women and men, like we could talk about another Tyler Perry movie, Why Did I Get Married?
Well, yeah.
I mean, not Why Did I Get Married, The Diary of a Mad Black Woman. When Charles did all that to her, cheated on her, she was like, "I could have had kids, Charles, had it not been for you cheating on me." Like she had all those miscarriages, and then he had the trophy wife, and then she leaves him because he got shot, and of course Shamar Moore comes in with that struggle wig, and he saves the day, and they end up getting married. That wig was trash, and he is fine. So yeah, these are all movies, but what I'm saying is that you're talking about potential. He saw in Helen how damaged and broken that Charles made her, and he said, "You know what? He did."
That was shoe on the other foot.
Yeah,
kinda,
right.
yeah,
He took on, because she was like, nope. She was so gung ho on Charles, what he did to her made her bitter, and yet he saw how she was as a woman and decided to, you know what, despite how you talk to me and how you wouldn't give me a chance, I'm going to love you until you realize that I'm the better choice for you. And they end up getting married. No?
I'm not doing it.
Not with it.
You're not
She's
talking
like,
to me crazy, and I'm gonna see. No.
No, I'm saying like how Shamar Moore, I forgot the character's name, but
Yeah,
how
no,
he
but-
saw.
No, I'm saying
Yeah.
if she's talking to him crazy,
Yeah.
treating him badly,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
and
Okay.
he's still gonna.
Yeah.
No.
You're not doing that.
Okay.
Not for it.
No.
I got a
Not
question.
interested.
Well, I got a question. Do you put emphasis on? Do you have aspirations of being married one day? I have aspirations of being married
I
one
do
day.
too.
I'm not really.
That's what it is.
Mhm.
It happens. It happens. It don't. It don't.
Yep.
Dig it. Okay.
Wow.
But
I
do you
mean,
think?
so, wow,
I got a question now.
that's
As far as
powerful.
what marriages do you think they would move our community forward? Do you
I'm
think
saying
Do you think marriages would move our community forward? Because remember we had a discussion that I feel like it's like Malcolm X would have said, as far as families as the cornerstone of nation building.
Yeah.
So as far as our families being together, two parent homes,
Yeah.
it generally comes from marriages. The reason being is because there's a lot of people was talking about, oh, it's just to getting the government involved, blah 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 blah. Well, everything for real is getting the government involved, especially if you having the kids. Like that's why so many brothers out here dealing with this, with child support, and they just it's ugly. So either way, the government is going to be involved, but it's a little bit extra of a step to keep you from stepping out. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to keep that family together. So I'm asking, as far as, do you have an emphasis? Do you think that we need more marriages these days? And do you think that by, like you said, throwing the cat around, the old dress how you want, all that, this, that, and the third, is helping that cause?
What does clothing do to you?
Well, for me, I'll give an example. Dang, it was a girl that I
Well,
did you look away?
to basically answer the question
I'm
first
just
before
looking.
we get derailed from
Alright.
my random question.
Go ahead.
Families are amazing. Community is amazing. Um, I think they definitely play their part in moving the culture forward for sure.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. Well,
Wow.
you touched on clothing,
Mm-hmm.
and for me, like I said, one, I lean on a certain way, and granted, I'm still living in 2019, so I like to see some skin too. You know what I'm saying? Like, baby, you ain't gotta look like no nun when you go out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there's a fine line between certain things that I feel like a woman, like I should, like as a man, I would tell a woman, yo, don't wear that. You know what I'm
Why?
saying? Because
They have
so I
to
don't-
be
because for me it's like it's doing the whole Aisha thing, like to where you're putting your value in how other men are seeing you. One, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like that's you're doing this. You put this on. You didn't do this so I look sexy in the mirror and then you know what I'm saying? You want validation, and that's what Aisha confirmed for us. You know what I'm saying? When she goes
No, that's
out
what she confirmed for herself.
for herself, and a lot of women want validation. They not dressing a certain way.
I can get with that,
You
but
know
I
what I'm
can't.
saying?
I'm not gonna blanket that across all women.
I hear you, but I'm saying that a lot of women want eyes. And I'll say as men, we want eyes. That's why men go to the gym.
Okay.
Everybody
not,
has
not to get in shape for health reasons.
well, health reasons as well, but you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, we got, you like to be desired. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Excuse
Yeah,
all of that.
yeah,
Don't
really.
excuse
I'm
the
gonna have to
gas.
edit. I'm gonna have to
sorry.
edit that out.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I'm going ahead.
But
Yeah.
no. But for real. Like, but you're seeking the look. So I mean, something that Shorty was wearing when I was talking to her was it was just plain old simple like, yo, come get me. And it was like, well, is that what your goal is while you're going out? No, I'm just wearing. I was like, but that's what your outfit says. Dave Chappelle has a joke. He said that a woman dressed, like you said, this was back in the early 2000s when folks wasn't sensitive about stuff. But he was like, yo, Shorty was dressed in a certain way that was very promiscuous. So he came up to him and was trying to, and he was like butt halfway out the skirt, and he was like, yo, what's up? Like, what you trying to do? And she was like, whoa. I'm not just because I'm dressed this way doesn't mean you can approach me like that.
Right.
He made the joke that if he was wearing a police uniform and walking down the
That's
street,
so stupid. People
Dave
will
is
approach
stupid.
him.
And people approach, he was
Yeah.
like, whoa, just
Yeah.
because I'm wearing this.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, does
Oh
that?
my gosh.
I mean, like, I think comedy is like one of the
But
biggest, best
the
truth tellers.
approach to a police officer wouldn't be anywhere near the same approach to a woman who's wearing
Those
a come
facts.
get me.
It was,
dress.
but it was.
So
it was
that
message.
is a
don't miss the point.
Nah,
No,
because
because
you're gonna
it's
approach a police
satire.
officer with what?
It's
Respect.
satire.
Respect.
No. He was coming
That's
frantic.
very true.
Satire.
Yes.
Point is.
Oh, it's satire now.
Satire.
Yeah.
Point
Yeah.
is,
Ooh.
what's the name that it was
Y'all.
not her job, right?
Y'all.
As far
Telling
as
y'all.
the way that she was dressed. So, but I mean, that's
So
what's being
the
presented.
way that she's dressed says
presents
what?
a message.
What message? According to who?
According
to
to the standards of society.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like so we're like so it's like what the standards is of society, yet we're trying to change and normalize, I guess.
Individuality?
If you want to call it that. I mean, like I said, I feel like when I have a standard, you know what I'm saying, like, or basis that, I'm coming from, it feels like we're moving further and further away from that, which I think on the world is, period.
But moving further away from what? So we must make sure that we keep in the forefront of the brains when we have these conversations, like what all this stuff is rooted in the first place.
The book,
What book?
the Bible.
Oh, okay. Well, I was like, it could be in the Holy. What is the Holy Quran? I mean,
Well,
I
I
don't know
mean,
what book.
definitely the
Yeah,
Bible.
so I want to just
but
clarify.
like I said, we're in 2019, so
If we're going off of the Bible, then women were property, which is how women are still being seen, which is why when you made the comment to the girl you was talking to, not that you would call her your property,
women
but if
wasn't
she's
seen
out,
as property, but it's more so a life partner. No, there ain't no verse that says
Yeah.
property in there.
Yeah, you gotta explain
Ain't
that to
no-
me
yeah, I was
because
about to be like, ain't no
okay, let's
verse.
look up marriage.
I mean, because I know a woman is
Two
supposed to
becomes
submit to her
one.
husband. That's
Yeah,
what the
two
Bible says
becomes
because
one.
the man is the
And
head
it-
of the household
same
and Christ
thing.
is the over everyone, the
Mhm.
body of the church.
And
So,
your body
yeah,
doesn't,
women
even
do-
as a
yeah,
man, your
women
body
are
doesn't
supposed
belong
to.
to you. It belongs
To Christ.
to the woman as well. Like, no, it's saying
Wait,
that
hold on,
when
wait.
you're married, that you're both like. It was basically saying that. If I'm and so like, excuse me for not quoting it correctly, but that your body doesn't belong to just you; it belongs to your wife as well.
Oh well, you guys are one.
Yeah,
God defines marriage as one. You guys are two souls that connect as one, and the Bible says that the man is the head of a household.
But a
woman is supposed to submit to her husband. That's what the Bible says.
But we're being derailed anyway, because
Okay.
my whole point was just the fact. No, you're good. We can do a whole episode on that. But I'm saying.
But the gaze is still from, although people may not be in churches or any religious affiliation, the gaze is still from, as you said, from the Bible. And in the Bible, women weren't shit unless they had a man by their side. If the husband dies, she needs to marry a brother or something to be covered and protected.
But it also said that a man wasn't shit if he wasn't with a woman. It said we weren't meant to be alone. It says that. It's a scripture on that. So I don't, it wasn't a one-way street. That's
You're
all
right.
I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand it wasn't a one-way street. You and I understand it wasn't a one-way street.
A lot of people.
But people who stand on those to use those scriptures against women don't talk about the additional scriptures.
I was about to say you got to precept it. But we talked
Mm-hmm.
about that. But I told you that's a whole breakdown of the black church and the way we can move forward, shalom. But anyway, but like I said, as far as where the nation building, as far as promiscuity in the way that we dress, that's not. I don't think you should be doing that if you're going.
Well, so I know what you're about to say.
You know what I'm saying?
So I mean, there's like, okay, so there's two sides you can look at this. So a woman can dress like that, and I mean, I'll give you an example. I have large breasts. I make it a point when I go out not to show a lot of cleavage because people stare at me, kids. I've had women cover their children's eyes because they, No, I'm serious. No, I'm being honest with you, and I don't show cleavage. Even wearing this, you see how it's a good bra. But if we're going to sit here and talk about women, how we're judged for how we're dressed, then does it give it a right for a man to have a Trayvon Martin look? The little do rag. You got on a hoodie. Now you label as a thug. It can go both ways, right? Is it okay for us to judge a man like that? Like, oh, he's a thug. Oh, he has cornrows. He has a throwback jersey on.
But when you pose it to men, it's gonna be different. That's different. Just like the police officer uniform was different all of a sudden. It's not different. It's not different.
Brother should pull their
pants
up.
It's not different.
I mean, no, yeah. But I understand what you're saying. Like.
And brothers should be able to wear a hoodie because they feel like it.
Right.
And not be profiled. And women should be able to wear what they want without being profiled.
I mean, I will say this. Right, I will say this.
You can't be wearing a hoodie in a suburban
wear a hoodie.
You should just do what the cop says, and you wouldn't be dead in the street.
I mean, as far as attire, like how, I mean, it's about when you go out, presenting yourself. I wouldn't there's some women walk around who got nice implants, no bra on, sheer, your nipples are out, and there's certain things you shouldn't wear out in public. I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I understand what you're saying. I wouldn't do it personally. It is going to cause unwanted attention, not just from men, but from women. People are going to stare at you and then assume whenever they want, like, oh, she must want attention because she's dressed wearing no panties.
If you know it's going to get a certain amount of attention and you do it anyway, isn't that basically saying you borderline want it?
What?
Yeah.
That attention.
Well, then here's the thing too. Some men, women get raped like that. Like, no shade.
It's not
women
good.
get raped. They're seeing a man desires them, and then they catch them by themselves, and they end up getting sexually harassed or groped. It's not right.
For women to do more covering.
No, it's not right. No, it's not right at all on both sides. What I'm saying is that there's a for every action there's a reaction. So if I choose to go outside, with my breasts hanging out,
outside with your breasts hanging out, you do not deserve to get raped.
You're right. I'm not saying I deserve to get raped. What I'm saying is that would I be shocked if men like, oh damn, mom, what size are those? Oh, can I suck on them?
You damn well can be shocked.
You can be shocked.
I wouldn't be shocked because I know that's what's going to happen.
Is it far-fetched to believe that men would have manners?
But your titties is out, baby.
Your point?
Yeah, I'm saying I'm looking at your titties like.
So you gonna tell her that she walk out?
Yeah, but I'm like, yeah, damn. I'm like, no, I ain't gonna. I'm like, sure, your titties is out, right?
Yeah, right now.
No, you can't.
I'm about to say no, baby. Listen, yeah.
No, but I'm gonna
say
that. But I mean, as far as me, I have
stop
respect.
in traffic. There's been car accidents, girls walking across the street.
Yeah.
And bam, he hit something because he's staring at her. So I understand. There's there's a lot of attention that a woman
You
will
gon'
get
you
if
gonna
she
get
walked
the
out
attention.
with her breasts out.
I might be
sexy.
rolling by. I might break my neck, and then now I'm in a fender bender because of this.
Whose fault is that?
That's her fault.
That's
That's
your
her
fault.
fault. No, that's
You were
bullshit. No,
That's your fault.
she walking
Yeah.
around with titties out.
Right.
No, no,
Who's
no. That's
driving the
not.
car?
See, no, that's nonsense.
She's not driving
Yeah.
your car?
Nonsense.
Nah.
I'm saying
Yes,
that
we
we
not
know
doing that.
Take it like that.
we
We
know we know certain dress gonna garner a certain attention.
Sure, we can agree on that.
Right?
Sure.
So
Yeah.
if you know that this attention is coming and you do it anyway, how are you not saying you want that attention?
I mean,
You
that's a
can
good
wear
question.
what
I don't know. That's a hard one.
an article of clothing is not gonna should not dictate.
Well, don't they have a law, public indecency? You
Sure.
get a ticket for that. So I imagine if a cop saw you walking around and it's like nude, you can't get arrested for that or get a ticket or a
Sure.
citation.
Mhm.
So there is a problem there. Because if you're breaking the law, if you're getting a ticket or a citation for something like that, would you not agree? If someone was that offended where you're walking around in a public setting where there's kids and
Sure,
We
families.
talk
we're
about
talking about
Erica
laws.
Badu window
Sure.
seat.
Oh
We're
my
talking
God,
about
her
laws.
being naked?
Yeah,
That was a
love
cold
that.
sick. Yeah.
Shout out to Auntie Badu.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a fine line between being sexy and then being trashy. It's not. I'm not saying it's not okay for women to show cleavage, but to walk around with no bra on and it's sheer and people can see your breasts and your nipples.
The Frida
That's
nipple
a-
thing
yeah.
was getting moved, was
I
catching
mean, but then
waves.
again, that's
That was-
what Ambrose was saying. You saw her slut walk. Women walk around topless, and I think in New York, did they pass that law where women could walk around topless?
Nah, I doubt that.
There was a law. Oh, okay. No,
the
I
city
saw.
is wild, but I don't
Okay,
think
yeah,
they did
I don't
all
know.
that.
I could have, so I mean, just like
Why is it so important for women to be bound by what they wear? Why do men care so much?
Because we care, because we're built that way. We're built. We're
You're built
like
what way?
we are built
Mm.
to be attracted. You know what I'm saying, to women. One,
Sure.
I mean, for the most
Are
part.
you
Oh,
built to
man.
be disrespectful? Are you built
No,
to be
no,
outrageous?
no,
Are you
no,
built to be
no.
can of
But if I'm
worms.
rolling down the street and
That's on
Shorty
you.
got her titties
That's
out,
on you.
Smoking
like,
endo,
you
sipping
know,
on gin and
that-
juice.
You
no.
die,
Yeah.
you die.
Nah,
on
that's
you.
out of
Wow.
pocket. That's
No,
wild.
that's not
That's
my
wild.
fault.
That's wild. I'm just
Sorry.
saying. That's.
So then it'd be kind of crazy if a woman was driving a car and you walked around with no shirt on, baby oil, and I just
But
get into
men
a
walk
car
around with no
accident.
shirts on all the
That's what
time.
I'm saying. You ever had a woman catcall you, try to grab you and do nothing like that? No, I'm being serious. You got your guns out right now. You ever had a woman try to like?
And ain't nobody touched you.
And they're like, yeah, they want to touch. Be like, hey, relax. But I mean,
For real, no woman has tried, right? Like
Yeah,
grab
no,
your
yeah,
ass
yeah.
or nothing like
Yeah,
that.
I had my
You
ass
ever walk in the
grabbed.
club? Damn, shorty, your ass is fat. Damn. I mean, you.
I
know-
mean, let's not get it twisted. Brothers definitely need to have more respect as far as
Mm.
for our women. I mean, we definitely need
Thank
to do
you
a
for
better
finally
job.
saying
Yeah,
and
we
then
do.
when you turn
I
them
know.
down, fuck
But-
you then, bitch.
No, yeah.
Oh yeah,
brothers,
you ugly anyway.
there's a lot of brothers that's out here bugging. You know what I'm saying, on the way that we treat our
Right.
women. You know, especially
Yeah,
us
women
black
don't do
And
men.
the insult had nothing to do with what she was wearing.
No, and
So-
usually, generally, I mean, like, and
But
she could be dressed properly.
That could
and,
be the
and can still
culture,
catch
like
that.
the culture
is.
too, like rap music and
It is.
what and like
It's
okay,
yeah.
so like put like this: the women on the internet, the women who have a platform, how are they dressed? How do they present themselves? For those people to
Ass
follow
naked.
them, for them to get views, for them to get sponsorships, for them to get likes, how are they presenting themselves?
Shoot, who's winning? Who's leading the charge as far as in women hip hop right now? I mean,
What do
like,
you mean? Oh, Cardi, of course.
I mean, like, it's,
But Cardi and Nicki, they both have a similar look. The only difference is
It's
their
the same
ethnicity.
thing. That's why
I mean,
they
got small waist, fake breasts, fake ass.
yo, quit trying to stop trying to like people. Y'all be trying to cut off Cardi. Cardi is a sister.
No,
alright?
no,
Yo,
she's a sister.
she's
She's a
black.
sister?
She's okay. All right.
No, she doesn't
Right.
identify as black.
She doesn't.
No, she does not. No,
She's
she
Puerto
went
Rican,
on-
right? She Dominican.
Jesus.
Either way, both of those is black. So
Okay.
Oh Lord.
it is what it is.
All
You
right.
can't erase those people's culture like
Well,
that.
you can't.
It's
Her
another
mom,
boat stop.
Yeah.
They got off. They got off on a boat
But
stop
what
that
I'm
was a
saying
little bit
is,
sooner.
if Cardi B or Nicki Minaj was dressing like Queen Latifah, y'all remember Queen Latifah,
Facts.
UNITY? Would they have a platform? No. Female rappers. I mean, let's go
But
back.
I mean,
let's go
but
back
shoot,
to
if you gonna do
Kim.
that, if you gonna do
Y'all
that,
remember
Kim
the
started
poster, legs open with the leopard bikini? Like that's the Kim I remember. The girl, Brooklyn girl.
Mhm.
Now I don't recognize Kim. I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is, but what I'm saying is that the women that are on a platform are women who present themselves as sexy. I don't know. Sometimes there's a fine
Who
line.
dictates that? You think it's women at the head of these labels?
No, it's probably them. They know in order to appease their fans, in order to get
I
paid,
heard
or
what she
you
was
know what I
saying.
mean.
I hear
Men,
what-
men are dictating what
You
those
think men
women
are
wear.
dictating?
Absolutely. And then in the same breath, we'll have an issue with it. So fuck that noise.
So some of them I don't think like the Kardashian. I think it's Kris Jenner.
Mm.
Kris Jenner, she's
Oh,
a,
Chris,
she's a,
Chris
she's
is
a
running.
momager.
Chris is running that,
Yeah, Chris
but
is
I know what
definitely
you're saying
running
as far
that.
as with
I know with them,
with labels
yeah.
and everything with music
Oh well, yeah,
labels.
well, yeah. You gotta, yeah. That's
It was
different.
like
But
they did in the
what-
movie. You'll take that off. You know what I'm saying? Show a little
Because
bit
if we're
more.
talking
Yeah.
about your independent artists
Yeah.
that are unsigned or doing their own thing, whatever, and they can dress how they want, they're not dressing in the same way
Mm-mm.
at
Yeah.
all.
So not
But
even,
since they're choosing not to dress in the same manner, they're not going to get the same
commercial.
shine.
Okay, so
And
not
women
even,
aren't
not
making no
even-
decision.
Okay, so not even talking about artists. Let's talk about Instagram models or women who are not even like, yeah, Instagram models. The women who post
Sex
pictures.
symbols.
You know, like those women with good photos, they get sponsorships, Fashion Nova, or someone else like, hey, just advertise this.
Right.
Again, how do they present themselves? Like this guy told me, this guy was like, listen, he follows pages of women with large breasts. They got thousands of followers. He said you can do what they're doing. Every picture is her breasts. Breasts in the afternoon, breasts were eating a sandwich. All she's showing is her breasts, and she got over 500,000 of followers. And you know how much money? No, I'm being
I know,
dead
no, but
ass.
I'm laughing.
That's what he told me. He said he showed me
Man.
these women. Someone is following them. I'm like, that's all she is doing is showing cleavage in different forms, cleavage in the bed,
And
working
who
out.
are her followers?
They're men. Some women
Oh,
who are
so-
busty and BBWs.
Quick segues now, just because we don't think we got to touch on it. Toxic masculinity.
Oh, okay.
Since I guess that
Okay.
that you know that actually
Yeah.
kind of gets on that now. So from my perspective, right? I don't like it per se because one, I understand what the definition is. It's them brothers the gas station and won't let shorty go pay at the pump. You know what I'm saying? Before she comes back and she's getting harassed and then she's getting cussed out. You know, it's the
In a
brother.
t-shirt, jeans, and some flip-flops.
And some
right?
t-shirt, jeans, and some flip-flops.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter what she was wearing. No,
Yeah.
I dig that. I dig that. Right? But I think I don't like the negative connotation that they're putting on masculinity because I feel that less and less men are masculine these days, and I don't even think those are masculine traits. You know, I think we were operating a lot off of emotion, which I think is because of single mother homes. You know, and that we're catching that.
Mother, how about father not being at home too?
Yeah, no,
I mean, it
that's
goes
what
both
I'm
ways.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
A man
Father
needs
not
his
being-
mother,
yeah.
and I look at it, a parent or a child needs both parents. That's why that's why for you to get here, all of us to get here, it took a man and a woman.
Right.
It didn't, two women can't have a baby, two men can't have a baby. That's why God made Adam and Eve. So
like I
some
said,
of
so
that, it
basically,
goes both
I
ways.
feel like men is operating a lot on emotion, so it's not doing it properly. But as far as like toxic masculinity, I don't like the term just because I feel like there's almost an attack on masculinity nowadays. And even when in our media with everything as far as pushing like a lot of brothers that's not that identify as heterosexual but are wearing like dresses and like doing certain things that wouldn't be considered masculine. And it's an age old tale. We've been doing this since the 90s. But I mean, but I don't like that term. As far as what do you feel about toxic masculinity?
Well, of course I don't like it.
Yeah. But what do you define it as?
I definitely define it as somebody who's emotionally intelligent.
Intelligent.
Yeah. Unintelligent.
Unintelligent. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was about to
Thank
say
you.
like, wait a minute. I was like,
who's emotionally unaware
mm-hmm.
of who he is in his body, in himself. I don't think it's attributed to single parent homes because a lot of trash ass dudes are married and beat their fucking wives every day and you got a toxic masculine son. So I don't think it has anything to do with the parental situation. I do think it has everything to do with at the time when boys become men, a level of self-reflection and a mentor or an actual manly figure isn't there to like help guide that path.
So it starts in the home.
That
then.
what I was just about to say.
So
Like
it
you
starts
just
in the home.
Sure.
I think if we
But
had,
you got if it's a single mother home, you have uncles, you got brothers, you got cousins.
Yeah, that's very true.
It doesn't
yeah.
matter.
I mean, yeah, you find it, you're gonna find it. But I mean, like, shoot, that's why a lot of brothers is in the streets because I mean, a lot of times, that they a
But
lot
if
of
your
the
father's
male.
trash and he's still married to your mama, does that make it a successful 2-parent household?
No, but I feel like if we had to take the odds of, you know, and I said this to anybody who argues against 2-parent homes or tries to say, well, you know, well, it could go bad that way. If we're gonna take the odds, if you're gonna say like, hey, all right, 80% is gonna be one and 20% is gonna be the other. Would you take 80% single mother homes, or would you take the 80%?
I'm not saying that I'm not saying that it doesn't happen.
Right.
What I'm saying is, I think people put
Too much emphasis.
too much emphasis on 2-parent households without knowing the dynamics of that household.
I'm saying that it can be bad,
And
but
it can
like
be
you
toxic.
said, it can be toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you said, men are not being raised. We're not being raised the way men should be. Like I said,
Sure.
and you know, like I felt like just like I said, as far as with our relationship, I said this to you, that if men got our stuff together, y'all would fall right on in line.
Sure.
And I mean that as far as like you said to me, you told me, it was like there's no heterosexual woman, you know, black woman especially, that doesn't want to, you know, submit to a man that has his stuff together, who's emotionally intelligent, who is a leader, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, is those things that is a masculine man. But I don't think like you said, we're not learning those things. If this cycle of, you know, that toxic man probably could have came, that's in a 2-parent home, is probably trying to break the cycle because he wasn't in a 2-parent home.
Sure.
So like if they continue, at least the grandchildren may be better if they continue the 2-parent home. So I mean, like, we have to start that mission in order for it to build and keep that consistency for it to happen.
But this is with the hope and prayer that these are 2 healthy people in a marriage having children.
And that's what's important first. That's what I think we you know, as far as like with all those different roles, and we can honestly talk about this all day long, but I think we had a pretty good show here today. What you think?
Yeah, it was a good show. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of stuff we can touch on. I mean, we even talk about like your stance on gender roles. Like,
Why y'all looking at me?
because you know, we were saying like maybe you don't believe like what you said about like a 2-parent household. I mean, it's not a full proof, you know, but I think a solid foundation is where it starts, because even my sister was saying something like with 50 Cent, how 50 Cent, like how he is with women. If you notice how he's a lot aggressive with women than he is with men. Like, I know he's been feuding with Ja Rule, but the way he's like treating Tierra Marie and how he, you know, he posted her sex tape.
I wouldn't say that. 50 ain't no punk. I don't
Well, I'm not saying he's a punk, but the way he harasses, like, okay.
Anybody can get that smoke, I think.
Well, I wouldn't say he's anyone, because he even to his baby mothers, you know, he's been, you know.
Yeah,
that's
what I'm saying.
So he hasn't laid a hand on Ja Rule. He's bullied Ja Rule, but as far as hitting a woman, that tells you what kind of man he is. If a man can hit a woman, but you haven't even hit Ja Rule, you had plenty of opportunities, are some of the people that you were in an argument with.
We don't know what's happening.
Well, I mean,
I hear what you're saying.
Well, these are things I mean, the thing is, you know, Tierra Marie sued him because when that sex tape leaked, he reposted it. And you know, in California, there's revenge porn, because Black China tried to sue Rob Kardashian for that. Because remember, Gloria Alves was representing her. So what she's saying is that you as a man, why would you even repost that? That's like harmful to me. Like, you're spreading a bad image of me that my ex did. And he's been harassing her. She had that shirt that says "I ain't got it." I think he got it copyrighted. Like,
yeah, but hold on, but I thought we was talking about gender roles.
No, I'm just saying like the toxic masculinity, like how 50 Cent is with women, how he treats his baby mothers, you know, how they allege that he has hit them. This is what I'm not saying. This is what they're saying. His first baby mother. That's why his son denounces him. His oldest son that looks just like him.
Nah, they denounce each other.
Okay. Well, I know he said it. So what I'm saying is, you know, like when I think of that, I look at him and like, I'm not saying he's angry, but you know, he's superior. You know, he has power, and for women, it's like he's so quick to call a woman a bitch or a hoe, or you know, talk about her past or her mistakes. But when it comes to men, you know, he is aggressive, but he doesn't go that hard. He's never, you know, to the best of my knowledge, I don't think he's ever talked about.
I don't know. He made whole diss records on that man, so I can't say all that.
But I'm saying like
it was more so like what you was talking about when you started with the gender roles and everything, as far as how the dynamic of the family should work? Do you feel like, you know, those exist? Do you think those are obsolete in our time frame? You know what I mean? Especially things that done changed a lot as far as a lot more women is going. Like I was told by my stepfather, he told me, he was like, listen, like you coming into a time where a woman may make more money than you, and you have to be okay with that. And you know what I'm saying? It don't make you no less of a man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, as long as you still providing, you still handling your business, you good. You know what I'm saying? Continue to do your roles of what you feel like a man should be, providing the house as much as I can, you know, as you're supposed to, as you.
Right.
But if a woman makes more than you, you know, that's a great teammate. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of, you know, separation of, because of that, you know, with, and I call it the feminization of the black man, while the woman got more masculine, because y'all had to pick up the ball and keep it pushing while we were under attack, you know, all the way from, you know, welfare, or the man couldn't be in the home, the industrialization of inner city communities, what's the name, pumping the drugs in the community, so now there's no jobs, so now you want drugs. So man, we started this cycle of being under attack, whereas women kind of just kept riding. And even my, I flipped out in the group chat. It was when I'm tired of seeing black women get attacked, and brothers is videotaping. You know, and I just saw one of my older brothers posted a video of this young black girl. It was at an amusement park, but shorty was getting choked up by the police officer, right? When I tell you that another black girl started swinging on him, like on the cop, and was riding, and she getting up, getting pushed, and somebody came and another sister came and grabbed her, and I was like, yo, our sisters is more dang warriors than we is right now. And there's such an attack on us that's why I don't like that toxic masculinity. I know what it's gearing towards, but because I feel like it's wrapping in on everything. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I got off on my bad. I went all the way over here. But
as far as gender roles, I think couples, married folk, whatever, should work to ensure that they figure out what works for them, instead of trying to work and do the cookie cutter thing.
Okay.
Because your wife may be a trash ass cook, and the husband may be an amazing cook. So why are we trying to uphold this standard if this is not our thing?
Right.
Because women are taught, and I had a conversation about this, a man will not marry a woman, or not all men, if she don't know how to cook.
Plenty of women I know can't cook for shit.
Yeah, that's why I said, right, and they're like, that's probably why you're not married. That's what they would say, because you can't cook. Because they were taught that the way to a man's heart is through where?
Stomach.
His stomach.
But I mean, at the end of the day,
or his penis, or whichever way you want to go.
I mean, in my dating experience, maybe I wear my stance on life on my fucking forehead, and I'm okay with that. I have definitely been cooked for.
Me
and
too.
They're just like, don't come in my kitchen. We good.
Right.
Like, and they take care of the whole entire thing, and I don't have to lift a finger. And so there are men. I don't know if this is a bit of encouragement.
Shout out to the male cooks.
To women out there, but there are men who understand that, you know, gender roles sounds good, but that ain't really how life works. You make it home before me. You gonna really wait until I get off late at work to eat?
Some men
crazy.
will. I know, right?
That don't make sense. I make more money than you make more money than me, but you want me to pay half? You make 50% more than me. What am I paying half on? That's not even a good percentage of, if I was living by myself, to what I paid my bills.
I'm not a fan of.
That doesn't make sense.
Either like a lot of times, like a lot of brothers out here would like go out on a date and be like, yeah, let's go Dutch, or you know what I'm saying? Like, no, like nigga, pay for the meal, bro.
I paid for guys going on a date with me. I know some women don't. Some women don't do that. Now she might say you don't do that, but it's like, I enjoy your company as much as you enjoy my company. Why not? Because it's a lot of pressure on the guy. Was that on the first
one though?
Yeah, on the first date. I said, I got this. Wow. As a matter of fact, brother, let me just put this out here. When we
hold on. That don't count though. That one don't count. But I asked. I was like, wait, let me get it. But I was like, let me get it. Yes, but I said, let me get it.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, that's the kind of person I am. I will pay for a guy because I look at it like this. I enjoy your company as much as you enjoy my company. And now, if it's a trash date, if it's no chemistry, we're going Dutch. Like, listen, I'm trying to get up out of here. But
Just think
I
a
don't
man, I
mind
just think
paying
a
for a
man should
man.
just pay for the food. Like, yo, at the end of the day,
I
like,
personally don't.
I'm not a fan. Like,
Because
I'm
we don't,
reaching,
yeah,
don't
but
grab
we're
my
not
bill.
living by
You know what I'm saying? But I mean,
gender roles. That's not
But see-
the era we live in.
but that's
Like she just said,
oh, man,
you know.
my man. I mean,
Make
I'm not
sure
saying,
you
you
do
know.
what works for you.
Yeah. She may not
I'm
do
gonna be
it.
a man. Like at the end of the
Nah,
day,
I
know.
so
After some level of interest has been established, then
Mhm.
sure, I don't mind planning a date, surprising
yeah.
paying for a dinner or
But
something
guys,
like that.
but that's
But
what I'm saying. It surprises a
Off rip,
man.
no.
Like you ever had a girl pay for you
Oh
on a
yeah,
date?
yeah, yeah. If it was,
It's like, wow,
it's a
women-
rush. It's like, hold on, like you sure, like and she look, no, I love it's sexy. It's sexy. It's you know,
Yeah.
it's beautiful to see that, and that's something that you like we see nowadays. That's the evolving of the times and everything. All of that's all well and good, but at the end of the day,
I'm not saying that
reaching
women
first.
can't do it.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't recommend it starting out the gate.
Oh yeah, not out the gate at all. And I think it's a bad sign to keep it being with you if he allowed that, out the rip. Not just he ain't it.
Because men ain't
It's not.
men ain't rap like that.
It's
Like
not, exactly. See,
they you start off paying.
These roles is-
Sister, be prepared to keep paying, keep pulling that weight. Not
Oh, I would
interested.
make it very clear.
That's
yeah.
terrible.
In my case, I mean, I don't know.
Not
That could be a
interested.
setup, but then again, a
Because
man,
like you said
a
with the
man could
Aisha
say,
Curry thing, like
Mhm.
if Stephen was starting off complimenting and all that stuff, and then it fall by the wayside, then it's like you got to keep it up.
Mhm.
I'm not interested
It's
in,
work.
in starting
Marriage
that
is work.
level of
that kind of like that.
But
that
we
women,
ain't starting off
yeah,
like
but,
that.
but
Yeah.
women can do the same
That's
thing.
not gonna be the baseline.
So woman could say, well, you've been paying for me. Why I gotta pay?
That's facts too.
So it goes both
That's
ways.
real.
So it can happen both ways.
But
I
then-
can
but
get,
then
I
you
can
start-
get used to
I
a
think that's
certain,
when- Yeah, you
Absolutely.
see that. You
You know,
start
like
to see
the first,
that.
okay, how about this? First date, you take me to a really 5-star restaurant. Second date is Applebee's. Oh well, baby, I don't do anything under 3 stars.
That's why you gotta go Applebee's first. You gotta-
well, he knew she
No.
was bougie from
Right.
the
Yeah,
first,
no, I'm just
from the
saying.
first
You
date.
know, so
Yeah,
I
to
try to break
so
the
pull
ice.
Applebee's
You gotta
Yeah.
pull
is
it.
bullshit.
You gotta go Applebee's
Like
first.
people can get off on this representative
Mhm.
shit, but people are who they are when you meet them. When you took her to that
Oh,
5-star
you
restaurant,
talking about the
Chris Rock?
representative?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Rock.
The Chris
so
Rock.
when he took her, and from your example,
Yeah.
when he took her to that 5-star restaurant, she was already dropping hints that that's what she want to be.
Mhm.
That's where she want to go. You looked at your bank account, you was like, oh, I'm gonna pull it. I'm about to pull this because that's what I want,
Mhm.
brother. If
And-
you
and
can't
sometimes
afford it,
you
you
don't
need to
get
you need to date according to your bank account.
They ain't
If
your
you
lane,
ain't got
baby.
it, you ain't got it. You should.
Stay in
If,
your lane.
if Applebee's
Yeah.
is your thing,
Right.
cool.
I don't
Then
have a
move
problem with
up.
Applebee's.
I was
Yeah,
about to
but
say,
nah.
even if you can afford that
Yeah.
5-star,
Nah.
go Applebee's
Dudes be
first.
putting themselves in that rut. I'm not.
Yeah, I was about to say,
interested.
Okay.
go Applebee's first, see what she deserves. If she cool, alright,
I
bet.
love Applebee's. I mean, what's wrong
Applebee's
with
be
2 for 20?
kidding. That'd be hitting.
You probably want to. She ain't
Would you
doing
go
it.
2 for 20?
I don't care.
Alright, bet.
Yeah, I
See,
would
let's
say,
go. We
yeah.
gonna eat. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
that's
saying?
what I'm saying. So that's a good example because I know women, it can be the same thing. They're used to a man like, you bought me flowers, this on the first date, and then after a while, those dates get real cheap. Now you at McDonald's eating
That's
from
all
the
it is.
value
That's all it
menu.
is. Don't stay off that poison.
At the value menu, like, damn, what happened, baby?
Nah,
Just
but
2
see,
weeks ago.
But all of that stuff gets cultivated in actually having
Yeah.
conversation and communication with the
Communication
partner.
is key.
There is no going
Yeah.
from Ruth's Chris to
Yeah.
all of a sudden going all the time to Applebee's.
Yeah,
Right.
No,
Right.
like
that's true.
no.
Oh my gosh, that's
no,
so hilarious.
people drop hints and clues as to who they are
Yeah.
all the time. Now, whether you try to see the potential,
Right.
Oh, is that shade?
no, it's
No.
no. Lots of women think that they can bank on potential, but he took
But
me to
you
Ruth's
gotta
Chris
have
one
something,
time.
baby.
Maybe he'll do it again. Nah, babe.
You gotta have some kind of
No.
potential. So then, when you meet someone, what are you basing your checklist on? Like, what are you saying? Like, they gotta have everything.
No, absolutely.
So
not.
there's
80-20.
potential, right?
80-20.
There's a potential that this person is gonna be good for you.
Well,
based
but
on
you
what
could-
you
but you could
see.
tell
I
that-
already gave my definition of what kind of
Yeah.
potential I would go for. Like,
Yeah.
are you working?
Yeah, are you working
towards
towards
your
right?
own
That's what I'm
potential?
saying. Not someone who is
Without
like
me.
homeless and it's like, okay, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that there's women out here that will say, well, you're gonna lower your standards if you date someone that doesn't meet your qualifications.
So here's
so-
what I'm saying. If I meet somebody who's a business owner
Okay.
and he's like, dang, like I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but I can't crack this marketing advertising thing. You already got a business that's going.
Right.
So if we're in a relationship,
Yeah.
because I'm not doing the emotional toiling as a buddy. Definitely not a fuck buddy. I'm not investing in your shit.
Okay.
I can direct you to somebody,
Okay.
but I'm
Fellas
not.
can't get no love.
I'm not doing
Okay.
it. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
I hear you.
Okay. So she wants no
I ain't
parts.
lost no sleep at night.
Okay.
But a lot of women get emotionally involved by what they've invested.
That's very
Too
true.
soon.
Yeah, that's true.
Without knowing what his level of investment was back
Right.
to you. So now your car break down or some shit, he's like, oh damn, that's fucked up.
I'll pray for you.
He has no
Yeah.
resources to give back
Yeah,
to you.
that's true.
He ain't no fucking mechanic. He can't come and fix it. He ain't got no homeboy that can come and fix it. But you didn't just wrote up his whole marketing plan for his business.
So you're saying it should
Without-
be even level playing field.
Absolutely.
So it should be both ends.
Within
Wait, okay.
a relationship, a
Okay.
committed, whatever committed is to y'all
Okay.
relationship, to your personal level, whatever the two agree upon. But no,
Okay.
we're not. I don't advocate for any woman to invest too soon into somebody who don't know what the hell they got going on already.
Well, no,
But if we
yeah.
become exclusive and we doing this thing, we've been kicking it, for however long we decide, and you like, dang, Eb, like you really dope at this. Like I need some help with this.
Mhm.
And I've seen over the time of us dating that you're actually out here trying to get your shit. Not a problem. But after a date or two,
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Okay.
Personally, I think
unless that's how we
controlling if you was
met,
trying to-
like we met at a
Okay.
marketing advertising conference. I'm just using an example.
Okay.
If we met in that context, like, yo, what's that connect that you was talking to? It happened, whatever.
Okay.
But me working on your shit,
Yeah.
and I have no like.
For free?
Yeah.
Okay, so investing time and money and effort.
For
I see what
free.
you're saying. Okay.
Absolutely.
Huh. So yeah, so you're saying don't invest
This dick
your
ain't
emotion in
free.
somebody who ain't about shit. Message, well, I need to listen because I will do it, and that's probably why I end up in some of the situations I end up in because I believe I believe a powerful woman can change a man or a woman. Like for instance, I can meet a man, maybe he hasn't had a woman motivate him, like maybe he was in the streets. I'm like, listen, let's do your resume, let's get you a job, let's try to better your life.
That's a mama.
Well, it's not trying to be a
Yeah,
mama.
that's
It's
what I'm
like
saying.
we all
It is
need
a
help.
mama.
Yeah, that's a
No.
mama.
Sure, we all need help.
But not that kind.
Like
You
motivation?
should know. You should got.
Like you
have
know,
your stuff
like
together,
I mean,
brother.
you think Coretta Scott didn't motivate Martin Luther King?
Yeah, but Martin was
She-
still Martin.
I know, but I'm pretty sure she motivated him too.
Oh,
She
yeah,
was out there,
absolutely.
motivating like you gonna get through this.
But
You
then
gonna.
they were already married.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about in the beginning,
Martin.
before they got married.
I'm sorry.
In the beginning stage, like Barack Obama. So when Michelle before they
I
meet,
don't. But King
before they
wasn't.
got married-
That wasn't on his. He wasn't interested in doing what he was
Yeah,
put
I
up
was
on
about
the
to say,
platform
He
to
was
do.
on-
Michelle
he was,
built some
oh, we're
berries.
talking about like Marlon or Barack.
Barack.
Because I remember Barack, he credited his wife
Oh yeah.
as his motivator,
Michelle
saying you
built
are
that.
gonna write. So again, my point: a
But he
powerful
was
woman.
already an intern at a law firm.
No,
Like,
he
he
was.
He was
Right.
already a graduate of an Ivy League school. Like that's
Yes.
working within your
Right,
potential
right.
already.
But he didn't
She
believe.
just kind of
sure.
took it to.
This wasn't no junior
Well,
college.
and that's
Yeah.
what and that's the great
But
that's the greatness of
I
a
know,
black
but she
woman.
met him when he was in his raw form, and
Get
she
that on your
motivated
team.
him to you can be president, despite all the obstacles or whatever he was facing. He credits his wife as saying she motivated me to be a better man. He's always
Sure.
said that.
But she's
So
saying
that's what I'm
that. But
saying.
she's
I
basically
understand she's
saying that.
He was
yeah,
already running that race.
Yeah.
If it was gonna be Michelle, it was gonna be somebody.
You
He was
can't
already in that lane.
you can't start the race for him is what she said.
It was
Okay.
Yeah.
no.
But at the end of the day, I think we need more black love. So we need
Sure.
to continue to come together and work on these things. I'm trying to close it on a nice note.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but
Yes.
ladies, Miss Ebony, thank you for
Yes,
coming
yes,
on our show
absolutely.
today.
Thank you. Yes,
Y'all
very
please-
insightful conversation.
Y'all please, yes.
These comments are on fire. You gonna
Oh
have
yeah,
to
I
go
know
through-
them.
yeah.
So yeah, we
Yeah,
have to
we
go
even-
through them. I'm
yeah.
sorry. It's on. That's on.
Instagram,
yeah,
and Facebook.
Facebook Live
Yeah,
and
these
everything,
comments
so.
are on fire. I don't know what all they
We will
said.
get to
but
all of y'all
yes,
this week,
we are.
but could you want to shout out your show?
Yes.
I mean, or your
Yeah,
handle
check
so
out
they can know.
Venus Clapback on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. If you see anything with Venus Clapback or Black River Life happening in Phoenix, you should be there because we're fucking dope.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. I'm gonna definitely have to make one of these sipping paints. I gotta come. I like wine. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm gonna come through. You know what I'm saying? But
Yes.
thank y'all again, everybody who's tuned in with us with our show today. You know,
Yes, sir.
appreciate y'all coming
Good
back
show.
for another week. It was right.
Yes, very
Very
good show.
insightful.
We need to
I
have
can be
her
a
on the
bit
show again.
jarring, so
No.
I don't know
Take
if
that.
I don't know if you
Yeah.
prepped her.
Oh yeah, no, I told, I did. I told her a little
He
bit.
didn't even know your name. He
Look,
got it, yeah.
no. I said Ebony. I said Ebony when she came in.
Yeah, no, he did. No, I'm just joking. I am just joking. I'm just joking. Yeah, I'm just playing around.
Go ahead. All right. Well, again, if you want to go ahead and follow my handle, I'm at drich1214, and that's on Instagram. On Facebook, it's Lamont Rich. I'm trying to hide out from my job, so don't judge me.
And then for me, guys, so we have a YouTube page, Negus with Opinions. I have a personal YouTube, Deanne Ford, Facebook, Deanne Ford, Instagram, Next Love Her. So that's going to conclude our show.
Again,
Yes,
thank y'all
thank
for
you
coming
guys.
out.
And
Y'all
thank
have
you,
a great week.
Thank you so much, Ebony.
Thank you.
Till next time, y'all.
2 fingers.
Yes.